intuitive eating, and sex. Let's talk about it. Renee Sager, life coach. Let's talk about this relationship between intuitive eating / ending the war with food and your sex life. That's right, we're going right for it today. So if you're like myself back in the day or several of my clients and your relationship with food isn't so great, it may be common for you to completely neglect how your body is feeling on any given day and just push through. The women that I work with are incredibly motivated, super driven, go-getters, and they often just push through. They grind it out. Not literally, we're not to the sex stuff yet, but you know what I mean. Like they just keep going and they neglect what's actually happening in their body. And a huge piece of ending the war with food is taking a second to step back and slow down and be like, what do I actually want? Because for months, years, decades, for most of these women, it's never been that question. It's been, what should I have? What's going to make my body look the way that I want? And I see it in the gym all the time because a lot of the clients that I work with are also, they are go-getters, you know, they're your classic type A, like perfectionists, and they go hard, which is incredible, which is amazing, but they've done it for so long, they forget how their body actually feels. So it's coming in and killing yourself in a workout despite being exhausted, despite maybe even having an injury and just coming in and being like, you know what, mind over matter, baby, let's do it. Fine, that's okay sometimes, but over time, it's gonna catch up to you. I mean, towards the end of my career with food stuff, I was killing myself in the gym, barely eating, and then when I did eat, it was excruciatingly painful, like beyond painful, just in the fetal position, because I was so out. I had no respect for my body whatsoever. I was like, listen, it was like my brain and my body were disconnected. And I was like, listen, we're gonna look this way, we're gonna eat this way. I don't care what you say, we're doing this. I would basically just abuse myself on a regular basis, either eating nothing or eating everything, either going through weeks and months of doing no exercise and hating myself for it, or killing myself in the gym with no regard for how I actually felt. And so what does this have to do with sex, you may be wondering? Well, I was able to maintain a relationship with my eating disorders, which is interesting and challenging, and I'll probably do another post about that, but I want to kind of keep it on the topic of sex today. So I was able to maintain relationships when I was in the throes of my eating disorder, and I gotta say, sex was not fun. Sex was just another thing that I just had to push through, get through, let's hurry up and move on. I never really enjoyed it. It felt like a very similar way that I would eat, or a very similar way that I would work out, which is like, let's just go hard, hurry up, let's bang it out, literally, and then move on. There was no really feeling my body, because a huge part of that was I hated my body. Like, I remember crying on the phone in a parking lot one day, talking to some lady that had recovered from an eating disorder and telling her I could never breathe through my belly because I was always sucking it in. I would always like suck it in and like try to feel my abs, and like I never could just let my body be, ever. And I remember vividly when I started doing that, and it was uncomfortable to just relax, to just feel my body. Now, I will say, full disclosure, I'm not the most body in touch, in tune person. What, I don't even know, sensual, I guess. um, but I will say my relationship with my body and my relationship with sex has dramatically increased since I've stopped binging, since I've stopped purging, since I've stopped killing my body, since I've started listening to what actually feels good, resting when I need to rest, eating when I need to eat, stopping when I'm full. So there is a huge relationship between the way you eat and the way you treat your body and the way you're going to show up intimately. It doesn't have to be this task that you just have to get through. Okay, let's hurry up and get on with life. You know, it's the same thing with eating. It's like slowing down and enjoying it and feeling it in your body, feeling how pasta, fettuccine alfredo, or whatever, chicken alfredo feels in your stomach, followed by a salad, followed by chocolate cake, versus maybe other days of a salad with a light dressing and some soda water. Feeling how that feels. Being intimate with your partner and taking off your clothes and feeling your body. Getting comfortable with that. And this takes practice. Being seen with the lights on naked takes practice. Just like starting to eat in a way that feels good takes practice. You can hear these things and you can learn these things, but you get better at them by doing them. You get more in touch with your body when you can just look at it in the mirror and be like, oh, this is my body. Buy some sexy underwear. Get a little something, a little nighty thing. Get something that you feel really sexy in. It's the same thing with the food stuff and the body stuff. Like, buy clothes that you feel super cute in. You don't buy clothes that just, or maybe you do and I hope that you throw them away, but pants that just make you feel awful. No, wear things that you feel like a babe in. Wear things that you look in the mirror and you're like, damn, what? This is all part of the process. It's taking baby steps and healing that relationship with your food and with your body. And when you can start to do that with food, when you can start to listen, you can start to build that intimacy up with your partner too. And so if you're someone and you're like, oh my God, this is totally me. I hate sex. Every time I have to have sex, I get mad because I'd rather be binging, or I just binged and then I don't even want to think about it. I don't want him to see me naked and what's he going to think, and my body is gross and all of that stuff. If you're there, if you're in that, it's okay. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's also nothing that can't be addressed. I don't really want to say fixed because it's assuming there's a massive problem, but it's a work in progress. So if you'd like help in healing that relationship with your food and body, send me a message.